Okay, this meeting is called to order, noting that the time, date, and place of said regular meeting was filed with the county clerk prior to December 15th of the previous year, and that the agenda of said regular meeting was posted 24 hours prior to said meeting, excluding Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays. Excuse me. Jeremy? Here. Lee?
Here.
Here. Item 2. Following items which concern reports and items of routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless a board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. Consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items. Those are items 2A through 2E. Any discussion?
Second.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Yes. Item number 3, principals report.
Online enrollment and the process with that, where the kids are coming in, you have to enroll before you can get a schedule. Ms. Rexford has it all right in front of her on the screen. It's going into it looks like a spreadsheet, but it's a different software program. It's clean. She can filter it down, and that way we have everything there. She can say, yes, you're enrolled, or no, you're not. Yes, you are. Here's your schedule. We have them all printed out and ready. So that's getting better and better. Also, we had some parents complimentary on that process. You guys might know, if you filled it out, you don't have to fill in so many boxes now. It will automatically populate your name and address and things like that. So we're getting better and better the further we get into that. We had a parent meeting and a student meeting on August 10th. That was last week on Thursday to cover some policies and just different procedures at the high school. The confusing things with like excused and unexcused absences, eligibility, things like that. So it was really solid attendance. A lot of freshman parents, which is kind of what we were shooting for, which is always good. So that was very successful. Media night, meeting Wolves night. That was last Friday. I saw you there. I thought that was a good time. It was very hot, but we had a good turnout. Softball's up and going. They're playing right now with Kingston. Murray County Bash is this weekend. Our game tomorrow is actually canceled. Doubleheader on the 29th with Frederick, so that's good. We don't have to go to Frederick tomorrow night. Football, that we haven't posted this. Yeah, I did post this early. Scrimmages. So Friday's scrimmage at Allen. That is with us and Dibble. Then next week, the football scrimmage is at Marlowe. We don't have any home scrimmages this year because kind of some way things shook out a couple years ago. Somebody failed they backed out of the scrimmage that we had, and that caused us to just kind of get in with some people on a three-way scrimmage, and that's why we don't have a home scrimmage. So that's why people are asking me why we don't have one. That's the reason why is Medill dropped us 2 years ago, and we were just scrambling to get in, so Dibble Allen found us. So that's why that's happening. We'll open the season. Junior high is at Sulphur on the 31st of August, and varsity is at home. It's also homecoming on September 1st, so that's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on. Cheerleaders have done a great job decorating the halls. You've seen that, bringing that school pride in, that wolf pride. And we had a lot of teachers that were around us last week getting ready, getting their rooms ready. We did shuffle some people around. Coach White moved from upstairs down here to this room right across from us because he's going to be our new yearbook sponsor, and that has the office so we can secure cameras, and it's got the printers and things like that. So he's going to be down here to also make room for some new staff members. So we have Miss Courtney Fullerton right here. She is coming over from Stratford. She's going to have all of our freshmen for English 1, and she's going to be our student council sponsor. So very excited to have her. Next on to Miss Tara Powell right here. She is going to go up to Coach White's room up there in the corner, and she's going to have all English 2 and English 3 students. Most recently was at Wynnewood. And kids go to school here, biggest person. She's the biggest guy. Right? But yeah, you are now. I am now. You're the wolf now for sure. And Mr. Jeff Goldflager over here, coming from Dixon. He's going to be teaching earth science, forensics, and chemistry. So we had that computer lab upstairs with nobody in it. We finally got a really good one in it. So he was chomping at the bit to teach anything and everything. He's even saying we could have middle school classes over there. The kids are super excited. He's got class sizes, you know, we can kind of talk about that a little bit too. We don't have tremendous class sizes, they're not crazy, but he's gonna be averaging about 15, 16 kids in every class all the way through, which is perfect. And that's a perfect size. That happened, all of these hires, well, Mr. Colclaser was a little bit earlier on, but these last two were real late. They were real late. I feel like we hit an absolute grand slam with everybody that we have at the high school with our staff. Very excited about the school year and get going. Thank you for all of what you did. It's going to be a great year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At the elementary, I just want to thank, and I know Trey and we didn't reiterate this, and across the summer, it's really busy. And when the teachers aren't here, they don't see all the work they're doing, and they can see this and get it done. But I want to thank like Wayne, Shelley, Chelsea, all the office staff, like Mr. or Coach Hunt, Mo, and the elementary was great. We don't have speakers this year, so I think there's first time, you know. And Sandy Slater, there's lots of people behind the scenes that when we come back, everybody, you know, we're all boxes over the course. So just lots of people that do a great job. And I want to thank those people, our custodial staff, our rooms, they get the buildings ready. And then they're back cleaning the unit and off and all the staff. And so appreciate them and all they do for our school system. At the Elementary Summer Reading Academy, we held that during the month of July. Sandy Slater taught that. That's for our third graders that didn't meet benchmark. And I believe we had 6. We had 2 fourth grade students that just had excessive absences. And we're a little low on their benchmarks also. So we did that during the month of July. And she does a fantastic job with that. It's just a very intensive reading program. And it's not required by the state. We can do it. We always offer it. And it's a really good program for us. So we appreciate Ms. Slater for doing that. I want to talk about our AWARE team, and I know the high school and middle school also have these. It kind of goes along with our AWARE grant. We had the CHESA team last year that met once a month, and we just asked them. So once a month, they had to meet during their lunch hour, and they ended up being pretty lengthy meetings. I know at the elementary it did. But we kind of looked at what we do well to support our kids and what we could do better. And so. It was Jessica, we had 4 or 5 people that met. And as far as the elementary this year, what we're implementing, we do a lot of things well, but we can always improve. So we just kind of want to put some resources under that to make it a better year. So there's funding with the AWARE grant. And so I applied for the funding that it's called PAWS is what we're doing. And it goes along with the WOLF thing, PAWS. And it stands for, P stands for pride, A stands for attitude, W, wise choices, and S is for taking. And it kind of goes along with what we do, but there's a behavior matrix that we're doing with the kiddos, like behaviors expected in the cafeteria, behaviors expected, but it all goes back to what we will do. So that it's kind of something that we're doing, and we bought their banners that are coming in, posters, and just some things that I think that we really need for the kids to see. So, and I applied for the funding through the AWARE, and we got that this year. So we're excited about that, and thank our AWARE team for helping with that. I didn't put this on there, but we do have meet and greet. It will be Tuesday night from 5 to 7. And then Monty Huggins does our clothing closet, and she contacted me today. Last year we did a time with our clothing closet where parents could come and get items for the kids. Shoes, backpacks, anything that they need as far as clothing items for the kids. We're opening that up on Tuesday from 5 to 7 during meet and greet. Then she's also going to open it up during the day on Wednesday. Because we have lots of really nice shoes and socks and clothing items that, and a lot of our parents do take advantage of it. We use it during the year as we needed to, but it was a good time. It was a really good turnout with as far as our parents coming into that and using that last year. So, and we opened it up another time during the year also, but and we appreciate her. She volunteers, and it's very organized. She has and I know ladies from her church also come and help. So that's something that she does just because she wants to get back to the school system. So we appreciate her and her work there. I have 2 new staff members as of now, and one had a sick child and one had other obligations, but so we'll get them here next month. grade, we added Lacey Davenport, and they were here last year, very glad to have her, join our fourth grade team. And then we had, Caitlin Larison. She is our second grade. And our second grade numbers were so big, we had to add which is a good problem to have. We had to add an additional second grade. So she comes from Kingston, so, and she really wanted to be here. She had 6 babies tonight. She's a brand new mom, so we understand. But so she comes in here next month. And I was late because I forgot my enrollment number. That's where I was. I was like, oh gosh, I forgot enrollment update, and I didn't have any updates for you. But our pre-K, we have, 47 in pre-K. We'd add a third pre-K, and move one of our kindergartens down to pre-K because our kindergarten numbers were low. So it all it worked out. Kindergarten, we are looking at 58 right now. First grade, we have 76. Second grade, 72. Third grade, 59, and fourth grade, we have 54. So we've gained some new kiddos. And we're excited about the year. Our teachers were all back, ready to go. They were working very hard. Appreciate their work and we're doing great.
Yes, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it. Happy to have you. Come on in, Doc.
I'm glad you could join us. I'm glad you could join us.
I'm gonna have to reset
All
my
right.
clock.
Item number 4 is discussion of possible board action, modify evaluation instrument
Absolutely.
utilized to evaluate the superintendent, presented by Adam
thank you.
Rogers with OSSBA. He's facilitator for that.
Good evening. Like you said, I'm Adam Rogers. I'm with the Oklahoma State School Boards Association. I'm the Director of Technology Services. And tonight it's just real simple. I want to talk to you guys about how Mark uses the superintendent evaluation tool and what it looks like on his side. And then I want to make sure you guys are all logged in and know the ins and outs of your side. So right now, this is what Mark sees when he logs in. You'll see it says superintendent. He does have a few more choices at the top. He has site settings. We'll start there. It's real easy. Now, this is not your school. This is our demo account, so it's set up as OSSBA. He can change the logo. He can change the colors, but we set them up in the beginning to have your school logo or mascot on there with the reds. But if you ever want to change the colors, Mark, you can go right in there, change the colors, put in a different logo. If you have Halloween logo, we have one school that has a fall logo, a Halloween logo, a Christmas logo, a spring logo. I'm like, oh, I'm out.
I'm good with the wolf head.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's a lot. And then as board members come in and go out, this is where Mark can either go in and change board members, or he can always call me and say, hey, like a better person, Lee has left. I have a new person taking Lee's spot. I go in to the member and I basically take them out as a board member here, put them as none. That way they don't have any more access. But we don't lose Lee's data from what he already did. So that is an important piece of that. And then, of course, this is where Mark can also make changes to all the domains. Like,
One of our biggest
yeah,
problems, I didn't know I could do that either. Andy
Yes.
just Dr. Kane just kind of set them up, so that's where we were wanting to make sure that everything kind of matched.
yeah. And so this is where, Dr. Kane set up all the original ones. And then there was a new one of district goals, which is usually blank. I don't put anything in it. This is where if you guys have district goals of, hey, in the next 5 years, we want to build a new elementary school. This is what the steps we have to do to get there. You add all that in, you add the rubrics in, you make sure all of that's set up just like the other domains. And that's where Joe or Dr. Ciano and Dr. Ha, Melanie, can help you with all the rubrics of that if you want to do district goals. Once you guys determine all that, they usually hand it to me. I build it, or you can build it. Either way. But this is where you can put them in a different order by just dragging the little bar and move them around. So like if you know you're gonna do finance at the beginning of the year and TLA, you can put those up at the top. This is where Mark can come in and go, hey, we're gonna do this evaluation in September.
When we started it, I thought there were 10 domains, and now there are 9.
There are actually 8, and the district goals makes it 9.
Okay. It seemed like we had one extra month.
So when it was on paper, Dr. Kane did have 10. So when we went to this, we condensed some of those into, we all kind of got together and said, hey, that's really a student services or that's a personnel. So let's just move these into the right categories. And it condensed everything down to 8, which was really kind of nice because it made it easier on our programmer and it didn't cost us as much to create this piece of it. And then, of course, if you had any inactive domains, that's where they would be. And so, like, if you don't use district goals, you can come in and click right here and update it, and it throws it into the inactive. So that way, when you guys log in, you won't even see the district goals because you haven't built any, and there's no reason to go into them. It just clutters it or confuses it. Back to the dashboard, he does his evaluations just like you guys do. Comes in, it's a self-evaluation. He can go, 3.85 is what I think I did there. We'll go 355. And I don't know if you guys know, but there's the slider, which you can either just click in the bar, or you can take the little dot, move it back and forth. And then we added the calculator where you can go 3.75. Hit OK, and it changes it there too. So there's 3 ways to do it. I think it's a little much, but that's okay. It makes it easier. We've had a lot of questions from other board members across the state that are like, we need something better. I'm like, but there's a lot of ways to do this.
So and this is just not necessarily a question for you, but I'm wondering, since now we have 9, we need to reorder our domains. They used to be, used to be about the time of year that we were doing certain stuff, and I guess we need to look at that, and I can do that. We need to figure out if we want to reorder them or not. I never knew that this was on here.
And this is where Joe and Melanie and I sat down and I said, you guys, I am more than happy going all over the state telling you guys this. This is easy.
Yeah.
I mean, and for one, you not knowing that you can reorder everything and then put in there, hey, we're doing this in September. We do this one in December. We do this one in March. That way, you guys all know if you open one and go, oh, this is in March, I don't really have to do it right now because it's August and I can do this in January. And you skip it and go to the next one. So, yeah, that's a huge time saver. Because for one, you may not even have talked about any of those pieces of that domain to make the evaluation effective. You can't always add notes down here. And then when you add the notes, you guys can see his notes that he puts on there. Any files that you want to add, you can add files. According to our programmer, we do not have a limit on size. So we'll just leave it at that. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense, but I'll accept it. So once you're done doing your evaluation, you've saved it, you can go back to view it, and that's just comments when I have to look at that. He can go in and modify it. So like if you guys discuss it and you say, hey, we think 3.55 is a little high, go to 3.3, or hey, that's a little low, go up to 4 or whatever. You guys can go and adjust it before the end of the year. When you print off that final copy, the board president signs it and the superintendent signs it. But just remember, anytime you make any changes that you want to keep, hit submit at the bottom. You can always download a PDF. Pretty simple. If you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done finance yet, that's not due till March, reset and submit, gives you a warning, you sure you want to proceed? You hit yes. And then it goes back to all zeros, okay? And I want to do one more thing, because I want to show you what it looks like on your side. All right, so that's mainly his side. He also has access to previous year's archives. When's your evaluation period?
December.
December, January. Okay, so right now, it's a little off for you. So this is a problem we found out as soon as he hit archive July 2nd, it messed up a bunch of schools. So we're getting our programmer to pull all the archives back out for 22, 23. So your stuff will go back in there as soon as that's done. And then eventually you'll have a date range bar that you can click. Hey, I want to archive from, what would it be, January 1, 22 to December 31st, 22. Hit archive. It'll take all that information out. So that'll be gone, and it'll show up down here at the bottom as it is now. But there are some schools that they do theirs July 1 to June 30. So, as a matter of fact, I have a school that I talked to that they do theirs March to February 28th. And I'm like, really? So
Ours is basically March to November, and then,
right,
yeah.
yeah, and that's fine. But January to December is what you'll fall under. And so we're going to get all of that cleaned up. It may take him a little bit more time to do that. So he is actually working on that. But the archive, since part of your stuff has already been done and archived on your side, you may want to go and pull that report so that you guys can keep up with what you've already done this year, this calendar year. Because you can always download the PDFs in the archive file. So, and let me log out of Mark's side.
I know, yeah, on their side, I know Dr. Oden on the end was having all kinds of problems, and I never could see his for some
Okay.
reason.
Are you able to log in? You're good now? Okay, perfect. So it is a little different for the people at OSSBA because I have them set up as admins as well. Let me see if I can change one. Yeah. Okay, so this is what it should look like for you guys, right? Pretty simple, pretty basic. You guys get the reports too, which is just the accumulator report. So this just shows what Mark has done and what you guys have done on your side. And you can see Mark's done, this is the one I just did on the superintendent's side. So you can see that that's all there. The superintendent's comments are down below the first light blue bar that say test. So that's done. You can also see that the board members, nobody has done finance because there's no score. But I can go over here and go to finance and hit start and do my score. And hit my submit and then go back to, and you still have the same options of the view, modify, download, reset, resubmit, and then seeing what the superintendent did after you do your evaluation. And now you can see the board members' scores are starting to pop in. And as more board members come in, the accumulator will change from, you know, if you give a 4 and he gives a 3 and you give a 3 and you give a 3, it's going to drop your 4 down to meet their 3s. So it all averages out. So your side's pretty simple. You also have access to the archives at the bottom now. Didn't always have that. But we figured, hey, maybe we need to give them access to the archives because they've been doing this too. And now, especially since the archives messed up a little bit, you guys can go back and see that as well. And that's really pretty much it. And if you need to change your password, hit the little gear at the top, change your password. If you don't ever remember your password, give me a call. Shoot me an email. I know that the first Monday and Tuesday of every month, the first 2 weeks, my laptop's usually with me because I know that I could get a call and say, hey, we're in executive session, we can't get in, can you reset their password? Absolutely. So it's all easy to do. So any questions, guys?
How long will the archives be available? How many years, how many sets?
I'm hoping within the next couple weeks because I need to get a little bit of information together before we do a presentation at our conference at the end of the month.
Oh, I mean,
Cleaned up.
how many years back
Oh.
would you be able?
So as of right now, we only have the online system to 21, 22 school year, because that's when we started the online. So from what I understand and how it's gonna have to be, we've got to keep that long term. I mean, basically forever. So I think within 3 to 5 years, I'll start pulling out years and just putting them on a server or on a hard drive somewhere. That way they're not taking up space here. I can just archive it and dump it onto a server. And if you guys need it, you just have to call us, we pull it out and send it to you. So. But that'll probably be after 5 years,
Okay.
so.
Change these, have them for wording.
What's up?
We can change the word like as far as what we want them to be.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
on the
can.
different
I know,
metrics.
I mean, I know there's some pieces in there that they spend a lot of time making sure the wording and the rubrics are all correct. But yeah, if you guys need to change some wording, I'd recommend your board and you get with Melanie and Joe and making sure it all flows correctly. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. So we try to make it as easy as possible. That way you guys don't have to stress about it. And
I think there was just some tweaks in there from the time we started till now that have changed and got us out of our comfort zone. I didn't know I could rearrange those. Never saw that, so it's nice to have a refresher on it.
yeah, yeah. And like, I don't know when elections are. I mean, I do-ish because we get busy at work. But if you get a new board member, call me. I'll come down and sit with them. I don't have a problem with it at all.
Might be something good for the OSSBA for us to send to for a,
Or even that,
yeah.
yeah. So, and I know.
We try to onboard them at school, but
Yeah, and I'm in the process of doing basically a video capture, and I'll have that available before too long, so. But yeah. Anything else?
yours good.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome.
Okay, item number 5. Recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve 1,080-hour school year as required annually by the State Department of Education for the 2023-2024 school year.
And this is that annual deal we talk about every year, that we have to choose either days or hours, and the hours gives us a lot more flexibility when it comes to bad weather days.
Make a motion.
That's number 5. Did you say 4?
Did I say? Said,
Okay. Go ahead.
okay, Jeremy made a motion. Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee? Doc? Yes. Item number 6, recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve Take Two Alternative Education Academy Cooperative Memorandum of Understanding for the 2023-2024 school year.
And this is just the yearly one also. The biggest thing is the per diem on it, which is $78, which is exactly what it was the second semester last year. If they have to go up on the per diem, they usually do it at the change of the semester because they have a better picture of it. Last year, I think we only had one student attend there.
Motion to approve. Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee? Doc? Yes. Item number 8, recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve. Did I skip 7?
Yep.
Man. Recommend to discuss and vote to approve or not approve the contract for secondary career and technology education programs for the 2023-2024 school year.
And this is the yearly contract that provides us funding from the Career Tech for our ag program, Ms. Burke's classes, and Mr. Foster's classes.
Make a motion to approve the contract for secondary career education.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee? Doc? Yes. Item number 8, recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve the memorandum of understanding of an interagency agreement between the Chickasaw Nation Early Childhood Program and the Public School District.
And this is to help identify Chickasaw tribal students in identifying disabilities for students with IEPs, especially early childhood students. They're beginning to have a program to help tribal members identify disabilities in their children.
Motion to approve for the ACP Chickasaw National Nation Early Childhood Program.
I'll second that. Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee? Doc? Yes. Item number 9, recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve the updated support staff pay scale.
And this is the support staff pay scale. We looked at several different options on the hourly funding, and I came on $1.50 per hour raise for the support staff. I was really wanting to reach to $2, but a $2 raise would have eaten up all but a few $1,000s of our initial allotment. The $1.50 raise was a little more conservative, but I think that still leaves for room for next year to look at some things. We've got our tax protests and everything are in sight, being the end is near. I just think that after looking at things, the conservative estimate between the $1.50 and $2, the $1.50 is what I would recommend. It would be a $1.50 per hour raise for all support staff.
I make a motion to accept the pay scale.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee? Doc? Yes. Item number 10, recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve the new board policy DEC R7 regarding the maternity leave regulations.
Yes, and this is the new state law the legislature approved. It's maternity leave for the woman. They get 6 weeks of maternity leave from the day the baby is born, and it runs out. So if they don't take it in a week, and they only get 5 then. So it's a policy to have us compliant with the new state law.
Okay. Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee? Doc? Yes. Item number 11, recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve an out-of-state trip for FFA students to attend the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis at the end of October 2023.
Yes, and this is just approval for insurance purposes. I don't believe our FFA kids have been there in a couple years now, so I think it may have been before COVID that they went.
Second.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee? Doc? Yes. Item number 12, vote to convene into proposed executive session pursuant to OS Section 307B, 2 and 3, and 70 OS Section 5 through 118 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss items 12A through 12C. Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee? Doc? Yes.
Oh, do you remember names for all these?
No, I ain't going to.
Okay.
I'll group them 12A.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Item 13, acknowledge the board's return to open session. The Board of Education returned from executive session at 7:05 PM. The board met in executive session to discuss items 12A through 12C. As authorized by 25 OS Section 307B1. Present in executive session, Board President, Board Vice President, Board Clerk, Member Lee Henley, Superintendent Mark Mooring. No action was taken by the Board of Education. Item number 14, statement of minutes of executive session. There were no minutes taken. Item number 15, recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve the employment of the following. Those items 15A, B, C, D, E, as listed. Make a motion to approve all hires.
Second.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Yes. Item number 16, recommend, discuss, and vote to approve or not approve resignations of 16A Jared Morse and 16B Christy Dean.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Yes. Item number 17, superintendent's report.
Back to school today, with teachers here for the first time in 2.5 months, so it was really exciting to have everybody back. We met, and one of the professional developments that we're doing right now is called Run, Hide, Fight, and it is, we put it on by 3 individuals from the Oklahoma Highway Patrol that conduct it, as well as Nikki Schultz, our school resource officer, and Brian McDaniel were here. We had the middle school and the high school today, and it was really, really interesting. One of our teachers who usually doesn't like any professional was like, that's the best one yet. And our elementary will be in here tomorrow at 9:30 till 11:30 doing it. And if you guys are around, it's pretty neat. They'll shoot simulator rounds and let the teacher know kind of what it sounds like. And they talk about all the different scenarios and how run is the first option. You can't run, hide, and fight. That's good. It's a little, when you don't know exactly which direction you're running and all the questions that were asked, was pretty interesting because, if the shooter is on the west side of the school, obviously you're not running west. And they say basically, we can have a muster point, a point to gather at, but at first it's just run as far and fast as you can with your kids until you feel safe, because it's the first thing. But they really liked our bolo sticks in the floor, our door locks. I talked to them, and I think we have fire hose at the bus barn still, if it's still laying there, but we even talked about having 3 points at our doors, two at the top, in the middle, and at the bottom, and they were really impressed with that. So we also have the Oklahoma State Security Institute that's coming, and they're booked out until, we have them coming in November. They're going to do an assessment of the whole campus as well. So I feel pretty good about that too. We got we have to apply for it. I wish you didn't, but we're going to apply for it's $92,000 in safety and security money, and I'd like to look at, I already had the school measured last fall for some ballistic glass and stuff that might make it harder for an intruder to get in. And once we get that money, I want to speak to the guy about coming down and doing some of our doors and windows that are big all glass, like our prepay and different things like that. So I'm feeling a lot better about our school security. I'd like to have our campus, the playground obviously is an eyesore with the fencing there, but I'm feeling really good about where we're at right now with our school security and getting everybody on the same page. There was a lot of good discussions and questions today from teachers. We had 45 teachers in here, and all the different questions and stuff really got everybody thinking about safety. Now, with that being said, it gets a little scary because we're all educators, and when you come in and your first thing is talking about school safety and what could happen and being prepared for it, it really is a culture shock when you think about all the responsibilities our teachers have. just in educating their students, but also in the mental health of our students, the physical safety of our students. And so I think the world of our teachers, and we have a great staff that concerns themselves with the whole child. I think, we take safety number one priority in education. We got 1A and 1B, and we're addressing both of those in our special development, so I feel pretty good about that. Sidewalk, we're improving our sidewalk at the middle school and making it into a ramp. We have a newspaper article about our parking at the middle school, where we will hopefully not allow, and the police are going to work with us, and we'll not allow people to park on the north side of Atlanta, so students aren't crossing the street there. It's really busy. We've got cars going, in the past, we've had cars going in both directions, and then cars traveling up and down the street as well, so hopefully we can cut down on students having to cross the street. It will back up. I'm guessing it'll back up southbound 4th Street and eastbound Atlanta on parents turning on Atlanta to get from middle school. But, that's a small price to pay for making it safer for middle school kids. We did, in the news, you guys might have seen the teacher recruitment stipend. It's for teachers that are pre-K, early childhood teachers, pre-K through 3rd, or in special education. We actually have one that qualifies for that. The state is supposed to pay all these teachers a stipend based on their years of experience and everything. So this teacher, it's a $20,000 stipend that they receive, and they have to teach her for 5 years. And if they don't teach her for 5 years, then they have to collect the money back. The State Department has to collect the money back. So I'm pretty excited that one of our special education teachers, Casey Hall, is going to get the stipend, that hopefully helps us secure a special ed teacher for 5 years. Enrollment, you heard a couple of principals talk about enrollment numbers. I really wait till like Monday or Tuesday of next week before I really look at the enrollment numbers, because we've got a good grasp. We've got enough teachers and class size and everything, but we have so many kids that are bouncing in and out at this time of year where school's starting, that I will give an enrollment update probably Monday or Tuesday once we know everybody's settled in. Cafeteria. So last year, in the last couple of years, since we had Power School, we haven't been able to do online payments, and we can do online payments now. It's My School Bucks. There are also online free and reduced lunch forms, which help parents, and they only have to fill out one form as opposed to several forms. So right now, pre-K through 5th grade, they're going to help the parents do that. We're going to have a couple computers set up in each classroom where the parents can fill it out right there. On our website, there's also a slide that you can't get past. You can click on the form for English or Spanish, so you can click on those two. Because it's rolling out a little late in the summer, we've got to hit up all the middle school and high school parents and get that, but I feel really good about the online payment portion of it. We can finally log in and we don't have to bring a check up there to the school or something, so I feel really good about that. There'll be some bumps in the roads in instituting anything, and getting the information out there, but I feel good about it. Summertime maintenance and custodial staff, I know Ms. Webb hit up on that, but Ed, Jeremy, Wanda, our 12-month employees, I've got them working all summer long pretty hard, and they do a great job. Our floors look great, our buildings look great, the cafeteria looks phenomenal. This summer was nice, we didn't have to worry about gas lines, and we didn't have to worry about, the underground had a little bit of work in it, we still got a little to do, we can get in there. I still don't have the insurance money from it, so I'm waiting. I can't do the flooring on it until I get the insurance money, some insurance money to do the flooring, because I can't just do the flooring until I get the insurance money, and our adjuster's still working on that. It's an OSIG issue, it's an insurance issue, it's not a HIM issue. So, but we feel good about the underground. We can get everybody in there right now. Fire alarm works, everything works. It's just a couple toilets, the flooring, and 2 water fountains is all we need in there, and we're good to go. And then we'll need to clean it up after we get all that done. So I feel good that we can get everybody in there right now if we need to. And that's all I have.
No info windmill wise or assessment?
No, we had the assessor called and said one is settling. We don't have any amounts yet. It's Arbuckle. It's the smaller of the 2.
Okay.
So we don't have any amounts yet. I will be on the phone 5 times a week trying to find it out.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Item 18, new business.
I have none.
Item 19, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Stout?
Yes.
Yes.